Well, hello, welcome back to Sunday Stitching. So as you can see, I am finishing off the current prompt from Sarah and Rachel. It was pots. So I've done this sort of rounded big pot, and it's got these yellow flowers coming out, which are just bits of fabric that I put a single stitch through. And then I've got this white sort of rectangle square, and I've just stitched some, I don't know what the flowers are, they're fantasy flowers really. Then I've got a long tall spotted pot there that's got some blue and purple French knot stitched flowers, and then some fabric here on these stems. So now I'm just going to set about and do my corners with my fabric, because I'm doing each of my pages, as you know, in the crazy quilt style. I thought it might be nice to have some of my ducks this time. I've only got the one full duck, but I think that's going to cut out of there quite nicely. And if you're wanting to do this, all you need to do is do a frame around your work. Start at one side. You can do as many pieces you like, really. If you had a bigger panel, you could do, 6, 7, 8 pieces. And then I just lay it face down onto my line. Add a couple of pins, she says. I've only got one pin. Take that one off to hold it in place. And then when we stitched it and we hold it back, you see this piece is actually not long enough because I've got the frayed edge, and this piece is already stitched down. So that's not going to work up there, down there, sorry. That's because I was thinking, will it work up there? And it's definitely big enough to work there, but I feel like we're not going to see the right angle. So I'm going to get rid of that, and I'm going to look at this one. Now that again is too small for there, but it'll definitely work there. So overhang the line a little bit, pin that on your line, and I'm just going to do hand running stitch. You can do it on your sewing machine if you want to, but there you go. And then that will be that top corner there. And then I've got this bluey greeny one, which would probably fit there. I just feel it's getting a bit dark. I love the yellow on there, and that's why I went for those ducks initially, because I wanted it pale and bright, this one. So let's have a little look in our bag. Now we got this one. This is nice and bright. That one's not too bad. This one could go up there like that, and then we need a big one for down the bottom. That doesn't work, that's got to go. That's going to be too dark. See, I'm just going through now, seeing what I've got. Now this is beautiful. This is actually vintage fabric, but unfortunately, very annoyingly, I've cut a corner out of that. I wonder if that'll... We could get away with that, I think, but it needs to go that side, obviously it'll be upside down. So can put that one there like that, and that'll cut out there. So that's nice and bright again, isn't it? You see, I like that. We've got this one, which is, no. It's funny, isn't it? You just have to sort of play with it until you find what you really want. So I'm just messing around with these bits of fabric. I think it's this one that's throwing it. I'm very happy with this yellow one, and I think I'll be very happy with this one. So I'm going to start by sewing this one in place and stop messing around. So how is everybody? Are you all happy, safe and well? Those of you that are doing the Roxy Creations stitchery, how are you getting on? I know there was a couple of mentions of people saying they weren't sure how to attack the greenhouse, so they were glad that I showed the way I was doing it. Yeah, you see, I like that. That's going to be lovely there. So this needs to come a little bit lower this side. That's the important thing. I mean, obviously we are going to iron out that line, so there we go, and that needs to be stitched there. So we'll start with standard needle and standard sewing thread. This is not embroidery thread, this is just standard, and all I'm going to do is come in. If you look at the back you can see the line, so I always work on the back when I'm doing this, and I'm just going to do a running stitch along that line. Take that pin out, very simple running stitch. Put it through, make sure it's nice and flat, and then come, just checking that you're in frame and that I'm actually recording, because I did set everything up and then go off to the kitchen to grab a coffee because I wasn't sure how long I was going to be here and if I was going to get thirsty, and I thought, oh, you know, did it lose its connection or has it all connected fine? But I think we're good. Okay, so now I've done a running stitch. You can see the messy back. Don't look at my messy back. I've done a running stitch all the way across, and now I'm just going to do a fixing stitch at the end by just going down and back up. So now it can't gather itself anymore, as a running stitch tends to do sometimes. And now I'm just going to stitch over this again, trying to go so that my stitches are filling the gaps. So coming along. It's very, very windy here today. We've had rain and snow. It is now sunshine, so we've had just about all the seasons so far today. It's a little bit crazy, but there you go. And then just give it a little tug and just keep going. So I trust you're all happy, safe and well. Getting your crafting done, and then back down and a nice fixing stitch at the end. Okay, snip that off with my sexy new scissors that my daughter got me for my birthday, which are beautiful and I love them. And then just flip it over, press it down with your fingers, and that piece is done. Now if you really want to, you can go through now with your scissors and you can trim off those edges and put those in your scraps box. Because you can use them for something else. And there, you see, we've got the top and the bottom done. I'm just now going to try again and find the fabric for the other two corners. I decided I don't really like this one, although it's got lots of that beige in that should work with that plant. So perhaps it's just me. Perhaps that is a good fabric to go up there. I'm just looking at it for a minute. And then I feel like we need maybe a beigey brownie or something whitish down here. And I can't help feeling that's why my eye went straight to this one. But it's just not quite. It's just not quite long enough. Although I am guessing we could actually cheat, because we've got to put our pathway at the bottom there. Yeah, see, if something's right, and I really want it on there, so I'm going to do it, and then I'll decide about that one at the top. So I've done a thumb press there, you can see, and folded it where it would be. Yeah, we did that, and we gave it a little finger press like that. Okay, and then where's my other pin gone? There. And we'll just pin that down there like so. I had loads of this beautiful linen fabric at one point. I've got a few odd little squares of it left now. Sad, I loved it. I also had it 2 or 3 other designs on, I seem to remember. A long time ago, back when I was patchworking, so I've probably used it all up. I was looking this morning, and they're lovely. I want to say Annette, I hope that's her name, Sparrowhawk Designs is back. She's been off YouTube and Facebook for a while because her family have been poorly. I think they've all had COVID. But she's back, and she's got a new stitch along going on. So as next week is going to be the end of our, sorry, turn it over so we can see that line, is going to be the end of our square of squares. The week after, I think I'm going to be doing the stitch along. So you can obviously join in that with me if you want. I won't be stopping this. Obviously I'll still be doing the Rachel stitching. But the thing is, these prompts are fortnightly. And I know everybody's got a different schedule. But for me, they're not frequent enough. I need something to be doing in between. And I know that Corinne of To Be Loved, she is doing it 4 times over, and that's how she's keeping herself super busy with it. I didn't really want to do that. I just wanted to do it the once and be done with it. So yeah, that's what I'm going to do. I think I did try to join the Vintage Blend Studio one, but that's only monthly, so it's even further apart, and I'm struggling with that one, if I'm 100% honest. for a number of reasons. So I've tended to put that down. I think when something becomes a problem, you know, you just don't really do it, do you? So I've put that down. I've been doing some odd random things. If you are on my Instagram, you will have seen recently that I did that simple sort of poppy head, and I just finished last night that I'm going to call them two crazy ladies. That was a and down design. So yes, I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to be doing the stitch along with Annette. She's done two already, so I've got a bit of catching up to do, but that sort of suits me, to be honest. So today we are doing the second week in the Roxy Challenge. So this will get finished, and obviously there'll be a new prompt out on Wednesday. But then on Sunday, next week, I did say to you I'm going to do the monogram in our final square. Then the following week, obviously, it'll be Roxy Creations, because that's what we've been doing. But then the week after that, I'll be doing the stitch along, because there'll be no more square. So I hope that sort of makes sense, and you don't feel like I'm wishing the months away. So there you go. This is our second line on this piece, and I'm gonna, my iron is plugged in. I'll turn it on in a minute and give these a bit of a press, and then we can oops, that's what I mean, you see, about it can tend to gather a running stitch, and that's why you need to put it straight and give it that, what I call fixing stitch at the end. Just go up and down a couple of times like so, and then give it a little snip. Oops, pulled all them threads. That's where I was doing those two crazy ladies. And then obviously I'm gonna bend that back over like so. That one goes over there, and now if we use a pin to hold it nice and square in place, we can chop off this extra bit. Now I'm actually going to use my sexy new pinking shears, also from my daughter, for my birthday. Now I have got pinking shears, as you know, but I've got medium-sized ones. These are tiny little ones, and she did also buy me some giant ones. So we are all pinked up, as it were. What I need to get now is some fabric shears, and then we'll be all good to go. So there you go. We've got 3 of our corners. Take that out now. 3 of our corners done. We just need to do this top one, and now we need to work out what fabric we want for that. Oh, do we actually want, because these have both got pinky in them, but they've also got a bit of yellow. Do we want, no, I don't like that. Where was that bright green one that I liked? This one that's got like daisies on it. How do we feel about that? Can you all shout at the camera and let me know what you think about that? And hopefully if you shout loud enough, I'll hear you. Alright, let's audition that for a minute and see what we think. No, I don't like it. This is too droll. This is too pink and blue. This is what we did the plant pot out of, so can't really use that. Oh, what about plain green? Because the others have got patterns on, haven't they? I don't mind that actually, because we could put something on that. We could perhaps do some flowers coming down from the corner. No. What else have we got here? This is no. Do you know what? I think I'm actually going to go with the plain green, because we got busy, not busy but a pattern. I'm going to do the plain. So it's better than this, I think. Just double check. Are you all shouting at the camera? Because I can't hear you yet. Yeah, no, I don't like it. I'm going to use the plain green. So we'll do a bit of a snip and give it a tear. Oh, no, we won't give it a tear. That's better. Okay. We'll do it face down, like so. Give it a bit of a pin. We definitely don't need more than that. So we tear that off there. Okay, there we go. That's that. Right, we'll turn that over and get some more thread, and we'll stitch that, and then we'll give it a little iron and see where we're at with that. Okay. So that's my plan for the next few weeks. Just so you know what's going on. Following the line again, so stitching from the back. I just find it's easiest to get a semi straight line. And this first bit is quite tough because I'm stitching through that piece. But that's what you want. Okay. So if obviously you find it easy to stitch in a straight line, then you can stitch from the front. But if you've been here before, you know that I can't do anything in a straight line really. I can't draw a straight line, can't cut a straight line, I can't sew a straight line, I can't. And actually I can't even walk in a straight line. But there you go. That's the way it is. That's the way my cookie crumbles, if you like. Stretch it out, do your fixing stitch, and come back. So yes, if you don't know Annette over at Sparrowhawk Designs, I would suggest you let's do it from the front now because we can see it anyway, because we got the white stitch on the green. I suggest you go over and have a look. She's got some fantastic work. She seems to be a very lovely lady, and yeah, I mean, we're all lovely crafters, aren't we? We all try to be nice and kind and share ideas and supplies. That's what makes, you know, the crafting community go round. But she seems like a lovely lady, and as I say, she's got some great designs. She was the one that actually introduced me to crazy quilting. She has got an amazing crazy quilt on the go. I don't know if she's finished it now. I think she was doing 12-inch panels, and she was doing 24 of them. And she was up to about 20, I think, but they were all with a travel theme, so ticket and almost like, I mean, I don't know if I've got it right, but to me they were like Edwardian travel, because it was ladies' gloves and bits of jewellery and travel tickets and all that kind of thing. It's just absolutely awesome. So yeah, there you go. Whoops. She was the one that got me into it. Right, we'll do our fixing stitch and close that off. And then I need to find my pathway yarn. It's not fabric, it's yarn. And we can do that, can't we? So bring that over there like that. Now I'm aware there's a big gap this side, but that's because I didn't catch that in the right place. Can you see that? That's very annoying. There you go, we can hide that. So I'm going to turn the iron on and whoops, turn the iron on, and then we can iron them down so they're nice and firm. While that's heating up, I'm going to trim off this green. And just trim that down like so. Okay. And then we've got all of our pieces like that. Now I'm aware there's a big gap here, but I'm going to do a border because that's where it's going to get stitched into the book. So that's no problem. When we're finished, we'll look at that. Okay, so just iron these nice and flat. There we go. And obviously it will need squaring up before it goes into my book anyway. So that's all absolutely fine. Put the iron out of the way so I don't burn myself. And then we will find our pathway. Now obviously the iron has taken most of the lines out, which is also awesome. So we got bits of brown and we had little bits of red and orange running through it, and I intend to sort of puff it up onto that base of that plant pot, if you know what I mean. So that's going to go there, and then I'll find my brown thread and we'll just give our pathway some definition. In fact, have I got any brown here? No. Okay, so let's move all that. Find some brown. There we go. whoops, and we can get some definition in that path. Now I tended not to split this one because I wanted quite sort of chunky stitches that would semi-emulate bits of cork or stone. You know, in those pathways you have that sort of chipped up bark and the like. So not on the end here. And then just start really about there. And then what I was tending to do was wrap under the yarn and sort of, you'll see, roll it through like that, you see, and then it will sort of bunch up. So then I'll sort of come out there, roll it through the yarn and then through the fabric like that, and it sort of roughs it up, yeah, and then through there, under it, through it, and sort of roll it back down, if that makes sense, just with a stab stitch. I've actually got a bit of it in my mouth but it's like fluff. And then back up, roll it through, stretch it down and stitch it into where you want it, like that. Okay, sort of makes sense, I think. Just up through it and then back down, and it just sort of, it's rough and ready as a rustic pathway would be, but it's held in place nice and securely. See the idea? Yeah, and then just pull a bit more. So I've got bits of red and bits of orange. This is out of that, I can't think what it's called now. It's like the raw wool that hasn't yet been spun. It's been dyed, but it hasn't been spun. That my other daughter bought me for my attempts at weaving last Christmas. Not this Christmas, last Christmas. And I couldn't quite get on with the weaving because I was trying to spin this yarn into wool before I was weaving. Well, I've now found, see, it's all about advertising today. I've now found a lady on Instagram called Orchard Weaves, and she weaves raw yarn like this, but she weaves it in sort of clumps mixed in with odd bits of fabric and actual wool, and I'm thinking that is much more my kind of weaving. So all is not lost with these unspun yarns. All is not lost, because I'm now gonna have a little go at that. I've also been gifted for my birthday a felting mat and needles, along with a variety of coloured felt. Sorry, it's postman. And consequently I'm about to have a go at that as well. So there's lots of weirdness going to be going on here. Some of it hopefully will work, it won't all be a disaster, and obviously I'll share that with you as it develops. Whoops. Here you go. Just try and catch all of that last bit in there. There. So there's my bit of pathway underneath my baskets. So that's that done. Just tie a little knot, finish that off. And then I need to decide what I want to do in this top corner, because normally part of crazy quilting is that you would have some kind of lace or further development running, you know, on the joins of your corners and on your actual corners. And I'm thinking that flower there is going to sit in there beautifully, so I'm going to trim out this flower. Those of you that watch my junk journaling videos will know I spend quite a lot of time trimming out flowers from lace, because I do like the flower shape rather than a square of lace. And you can use doilies for this or odd remnants, whatever. I'm going to cut it there. Okay, so we got this lovely flower, and if I lay that over there, we can hide that muff up that I did on that seam, and we just need to find the top. So it's going to need to come down and sort of dance into our pots, but I don't mind that. So I'm going to put that on there like that. So the needle with the normal sewing thread, and I'm just going to come straight through the back there. We've got a knot, so that's fine, and we're going to do little tiny invisible stitches like that. Okay, so you can do a big long stitch on the back, so you work your way across the flower, then little tiny invisible stitch on the front, because you're going down almost into the same hole you just came out of. And as you can see, I'm jumping across the flower, really big stitches on the back, yeah, the old tacking stitches. And then if you wanted to, you could decide to maybe do a delicate blanket stitch all the way round the edge. That might be quite nice, all the way around the edge there. Or if you don't want to be so, you know, tiny finicky, although stitching is like that really, you could just leave it as it is. And I'm not going to stitch it onto here because I want that to sort of flap, so I'm just going to stitch it into the actual green bit. Like so. Where's my thread? There. And then back up to where we covered up the error. Back down. And out. That. Let's put that on there. Yeah. Very happy with that. no problems at all. And that is going to go and join the others, just 1 second, in my book. So let's see where we're up to. So prompt one was this one, and this was my infill page, little girl and her doggy. This is prompt 2. This was the gate. Prompt 3. No, sorry. It was a gate or a scarecrow, and I did both, I think. Do you know what? I can't quite remember now. But anyway. And that was my infill. And then the greenhouse was prompt number 3. And there's my birdie infill. And then this is prompt number 4, and I might actually have to swap them over because I want that on that side, don't I? So we'll take our birdie and put our birdie infill there. So that is, I believe it's prompt number 4. I'll have to double check. I think so. And then that's our infill birdie. And that goes on there. See, and this is what I mean about I'm having to busy myself doing other stuff, because for me the 2-week gap is just too much. And that's the poppy, that's another infill, and then there's the crazy ladies, which is the other infill. But that's the prompt that we've just done, the pots. So as always, thank you so much for joining me. Enjoy the rest of your weekend, what's left. I'll see you very soon. Bye bye for now.